All right, so last week we did a heavy spot dose, and yeah, we stunted the Kimberly, so that is going to get pulled out today and start swapping. In fact, I'll go ahead and mention that now. We're going to start swapping healthy plants in, but we're only going to do a few at a time. So the Sedoides definitely got nuked with the heavy spot dosing. Also, this Val leopard, it hates glute or glut, and it looks just about completely melted, and it may be dead. Probably what I'll do is I'll just chop it off, take the crown, and go throw it in the 40, and maybe it will come back. Maybe it won't. But Sedoides is definitely out today, and we're going to put in some Lobelia mini cardinalis, and we're going to take the pogo out, and probably what I will do is remove this limno chunk that we had just cut off over here, and we'll stick it into the 40 just to kind of recover some stems if we need extra. But this chunk over here is actually looking okay-ish. But I'm going to put in some Rotala Macandra yellow into that spot and start, hopefully it doesn't get algae. I expect that it will because it's from aqua soil to the black diamond. The Hygrophila on the back right, even though we spot dosed and we cut off all those old leaves, is looking like rougher than it did last week. So maybe I can get away with the 75s Black Diamond Blast and Sand with a similar nutrient schedule as this tank. So maybe I can move some different type of Coriambosa into its position. I know I want to keep it to a couple of plants, but maybe it's going to be 3. We'll see. But definitely going to take out the pogo, and I'm going to try and get all those stems cut and into the 40 and just get them healthy again. I don't know if I'll be able to grow this Kimberly in this tank. I was able to do it with Eco Complete, but every once in a while it would stunt. It seems to do or be more stable in the aqua soil. But anyways, we'll play around. We'll see what happens. But I think I want to start, getting plants into position to try and get the Dutch series rolling again. So yeah, that's my thinking anyways. So yeah, we might reset the Clino. Taiwan Lily is looking great. Oh, it was kind of stretching, so we did go ahead and bump the light up a notch. So this tank is a little bit brighter at this point. Definitely loving Portobello. I love the effect that it's having, although it's up against the glass, so we'll need to fix that if we continue with that plant. But I think it looks great. It does have algae, but we can just trim that off, and as things improve, it should just eventually come back without it. So yeah, that's where we are. We will be back with the 120 and the 100 here. Updated after a day or two after today's big maintenance. We are cleaning the sump again today, so it's going to take us hours and hours. The 120 did get that super deep clean, and I'm going to clean those filter socks because I keep telling myself to do it, and I'm not doing it, so it needs to be done today. All right, we'll see you in a week or so. All right, thanks, guys. Bye. Alrighty, so we did move in a bunch of plants, like I mentioned. And we did clean up the tank, and I conveniently forgot to shoot some video. So this is actually about a week and a half later of those plants being put into the tank, and we have done one water change, and we're about to do the second water change. My days off have changed to Tuesday, Wednesday, so it is Tuesday. So this is kind of a midweek change, but that's going to be the new schedule, Tuesday to Tuesday. Not too much to report. I didn't scrape the best last week. I was kind of solo for a while until my wife came in, and I had told her I had scraped it, but I missed some spots. So there's a few spots in the front that are a little thicker than normal on the glass, but I can say that overall the tank is very much progressing in the direction we need it to be going. Obviously, there's still some algae on some leaves, some of these older plants. But what I'm noticing is when it would throw a new leaf, the next set of leaves immediately would get super fuzz all over them, and that is definitely much slower. The dust and algae up on the glass in the back wall has slowed down. You can see some here building up, and then we've missed some spots kind of in these corners and stuff that you can see. But I really think this is closest to the sliding door, and the cats will come in and kind of part the windows as they look out, and that gets a little bit of direct sunlight in the morning, so that can kind of cause that over here. Not too worried about it. Things that are growing super well is the Rotala Blood Red. I think the baby tears is starting to come along, and finally my Mirios are looking really good and fat like they should. The Limno over here is doing much better than before. We moved in just about everything I said. Some Pasquiero, whatever that's called. I can never, name's too long. Put in some cardamine, put in some purple repens here in the front. We did reduce these pinks, and I did the one previous was in the 40, and it's looking much better, but I just kind of saved the healthiest looking ones. Fingers crossed they come out of it. I can see some of the lower leaves are looking a little rough, so we'll pinch them off today. Moved in some little Wigia Super Red. We put some Dwarf Lily, Rotala Orange Juice, and Rotala Rotundifolia, and I think that is everything that we moved in. So we're just kind of waiting on those two Rotalas to get real nice, and hopefully it'll look a lot better in here, and we can start harvesting out of this tank. I may have mixed up one stem of orange juice here with the Rotundifolia, but that's okay. Not a big deal. Probably just kind of let things keep going, and hopefully we just continue down that path of improvement. All right, I'm going to slide over to the 100 because we're going to do maintenance on that today, a real big one, and show you where we are on that with that. Okay, all good things. Tank is looking sweet. You can see we moved all these plants in. There is a little bit of just readjustment algae. Not too worried about it. I know that when this tank's volume of plants really picks up and takes off, I think the problem in this tank is completely finished. In so much so that we actually harvested the Rotala Blood Red and some Mirio, and that sucker gave us $45. So it was 10 pots that we were able to sell, and a few of the Mirio plus the other tank. So it is a good week. We made good cash, and loving the tank. Yeah, so everything we've done, the deep clean, getting the water flow up, the extra surface agitation, double checking the CO2, making sure these nutrients are at the levels that I want, is paying off in dividends already. Next week, I think we'll probably be able to sell more Mirio for sure. In fact, we took out the Wilsonii. We're no longer going to allow that to be sold from us. I just want to kind of keep it rare in the hobby, rarer, although it's readily available, but I guess rarer in Albuquerque. And we're going to focus all on the Limno aquatica that we have been selling. I had sold some of the Wilsonii, but I just kind of want to keep it as more of like a, if you want it, you'll ask me and I'll give you a couple of trimmings kind of thing. Don't ask me why. I just want to keep it like that. But I just want to sell common plants. And in fact, I think with this tank being the farm tank, I really just want to grow the fastest plants I can. Obviously, the Rotalas are not too fast, but they're a good medium. And we'll keep those in, but I'm going to be looking for really fast plants, the fastest plants I can keep in this tank and sell. So yeah, you can see everything that we put in. Again, there's just a little bit of fuzz because they're in the other tank that doesn't grow as fast. I don't push the 40 as hard as I do these other two tanks. So everything grew at a nice, even, manageable pace. So now in here, they're thrusted in all this extra light. So they're just kind of readapting, plus, inert substrate versus the aqua soil. So yeah, the 120 looking super sweet. We made money yesterday. My wife and I could not be happier. I will show you the 100 now. We actually kind of did more maintenance than we anticipated, but that's okay, and you'll see that. Okay, here's the 100. You can see it's actually cloudy. So doing that huge sump clean out, we kind of ran out of water in the sump because we used that to prime a pump and actually like use the pump to siphon out the mold. We kind of ran out, so it wasn't as thorough, but we did get, and there was a lot in there. We got a huge chunk of it out, but obviously even with changing the water at the same time, it threw a lot of that particulate out into the tank, and you can actually see that it's cloudy right now. And as such, later today, once the CO2 cycle is over, I'm going to just do a quick drain and fill. I also wasn't able to get the back wall wiped because we were on a time frame. We had to run plants up to the store and stuff like that. So I didn't get to wipe the back wall, which I want to do. And so when I drain it today, I will wipe the back wall. But yeah, you can see that we cut a whole bunch of plants and reset them, and we brought in I think it was 3 instead of the 2 I originally mentioned, 3 plants in from other tanks. So pretty much almost every plant except for this limno here is algae free. Oh, and the Portobello. I did actually melt this loose ends. So when we delivered plants, I was like, hey, give me that pot back. I'm going to lose the plant. So we got a pot back of the loose ends, and it looks a little different because it's been in a tank with like a 7 kH and a pH above 8, even with CO2 and stuff. So it looks a little rough. But anyways, we wanted to save the plant to keep propagating it and selling it because our buyer really likes the loose ends. I did move in. Now this is Rotala Macandra yellow, and in the 40, definitely not yellow. It's more pinkish to reddish. So we had a huge chunk of it, and I just put it in here and spread it out. We did swap, and I have unfortunately mixed up all my hygrophilas, so I have to be a little more careful with that going forward. But I think I have cherry leaf and then a regular coriambosa. So we just stuck them in. Who cares for now, because we're not really actually on the path to getting this into a Dutch scape again, kind of ish, semi-ish. So I just put those 2 in to get rid of the algae-filled ones. They're in a good tank now. I imagine in a few weeks I can reintroduce them back in algae-free. We put some aquatica behind this Macandra, and we did put in a a Helanthia bolivium augustifolia. I believe I've only ever bought and have in the collection 2. It's the quadricostatus and the augustifolia versions. And I think it just in the 75 because they were just not propagated or emphasized. They just stay short. So I'm assuming this is going to get tall. So, we have made some adjustments to kind of just, get an idea of what things look like. I kind of want to maintain what we were working on before. So we left the clino in. We did take out the pseudoides and put in the mini that we had. We had one bunch, which was this little top right here, and all from that top right here, all of these little plantlets came out to make our street. Limno is doing okay, but I can see these colors are going to be too similar, so we'll have to figure that out. And then, when we were selling plants and grabbing, I saw this chunk of spiralis I had thrown in the 75, and I never, because it's behind a Biloxi SP, red. I just never saw it. The thing is huge, and I was like, could that be a curtain? Could that be a curtain? And we'll try it. So the leopard valve, it was nuked. It did throw a runner. Maybe it lives, maybe it doesn't. Threw it in the 40. We'll see what happens. Maybe we just lost a plant, but that's okay. They're everywhere. We just, we got the Portobello off the front of the glass and just kind of spread it out. This negative area is a little too center. We'll figure all that out as we go. And we pushed this kind of to the back. And the goal is to have clino come up. We'll have the augustifolia coming up. And the street is going to be disappearing in front of this red, so we'll have one red, two reds, technically red, right? And then I think this spiralis will count as our third red. So yeah, it's just a basic kind of moment, I guess, if that's a word, and that's where we are. So a little cloudy today, as you can see, and I will do a 50-gallon change on it, and hopefully that'll clear that up. All filters, sump is clean on both tanks. In fact, that 100 that you just, or the 120 that you just saw, the water is super crystal clear today. So yeah, it's amazing what some filter maintenance will do for you. All right, guys, we will see you in another episode, hopefully in a week. And I think I'm kind of feeling a little more invigorated, and hopefully we can get these out every week versus, once a month. All right, guys, thank you.